Let me jump right in. Attack on Titan the movie Part 2 is infinitely better than the first movie. And that isn't just because of the bigger budget resulting in better visuals. It's because the movie has established it's doing its own thing. The first movie was awful because it was trying to follow too closely to the source. At that point, it just made it so hard to separate the live-action movie from the manga or the anime. But that awfulness of the first part helped to make the second part better. If you can stomach your way through the first movie, by the end you're able to recognize an absolution that they are trying to do their own thing. So upon starting the second part, you don't have those same expectations as the first movie. I'm no longer looking to compare the movie to the manga because I know it's completely different now. That alone makes the part 2 so much more enjoyable. Don't get me wrong though, there are still some absolutely laughable stuff going on. So let's talk about it. In case you can't remember the first part, the movie starts with a almost 5-minute flashback, and then it goes into another flashback, but this flashback isn't anything we've seen before. This flashback explores Grisha and him experimenting on Eren. We do get mention of Eren having a brother here. We will wait to talk about that towards the end of the movie. Sota is there for some reason. He takes Eren and hides while Cabal and guards come in and round up Eren's parents and set fire to the place. Basically, the scene establishes that Eren's parents were doing illegal research. Then we're back in present day and Eren is all chained up. They question Eren's humanity. Armin speaks up in defense of Eren, mentioning that he's the hope of humanity. Hanj is annoying. She is my least favorite character in the live action movie. I get that they're trying to make her character manga accurate, but the way the actor does it, it just comes off as obnoxious and annoying. Armin comes up with a plan to use Eren to transport the bomb they found in the first movie to blow up the wall and shut it off from the Titans, even though they said it was a dud, but we'll look over that. Sota gets shot for being smart, and then the armored Titan bursts through the top of their pit, and Kubal just gets crushed. So that was a quick death? Or was it? Anyways, the armored Titan's design is actually really good. I mentioned this in my previous video, but the design of the Titans are just top tier, especially Eren's Titan and the Armored Titan. The Colossal Titan is just scary, but it definitely isn't bad. Back to the story though. The Colossal Titan kills a bunch of people, snatches Eren, and then takes off. And then we find out Eren wasn't really needed because they come up with a plan to move the bomb without him anyways. I will mention this real quick. There is a much larger focus on romance in this movie, like Eren and Mikasa are more of a thing, Armin and Sasha are apparently a thing. They don't straight up say it, but they give hints towards it. For some reason, Eren wakes up in a blindingly white room where there's a jukebox playing The End of the World by Skeeter Davis, and that shit really just doesn't fit at all. We then get our introduction to Captain Shikishima again, which, let me correct myself from the previous video, is not Levi. He's a made-up character for the movie that is meant to take the place of another character. Anyways, he explains that he rescued Eren from the Armored Titan, and then he goes on this long political monologue about how everyone is a sheep. We also get a flashback showing us that the setting of this Attack on Titan universe is completely different from the manga. This Attack on Titan universe takes place in the real world, like our world. People randomly started turning into Titans, and eventually they built a wall to home all of the non-Titan people. So no Marlins, nobody outside the wall throughout the whole world, except for Titans. Eren agrees to help Shikishima get the bomb without knowing his actual plans for the bomb. Armin and Mikasa's group gets the bomb and heads to the wall where they get stopped by Shikishima's group. Hanj decides to be annoying some more and goes into this tank thing all excited to explore. Once she's inside, we find out Shikishima's real goal, which is to blow a hole into the remaining wall with the bomb so that the Titans can get inside and fuck up the government. Eren says, wait, what? This isn't what we agreed to, and flips sides. He then gets his ass handed to him by Shikishima as he tries to fight. This scene on its own is really insignificant, but it ties into a thought that came into my mind in a later scene. Like, Eren isn't able to land a single punch on Shikishima. It's kind of sad to watch. Shikishima's men are about to light up the main group with guns, but the goat Sanagi makes his move. This is my favorite character from the previous movie. He takes down this tower behind Shikishima's men while he's getting shot up, and then everything explodes. And wait, wasn't Hanj still in that tank that exploded? Screw Hans then, I suppose. They really didn't give a shit, they just blew her up. They don't even mention it after the fact. We then get the big reveal. Dun dun dun! Shikishima was the Armored Titan. Who could have seen that coming? My god, though, this transformation scene was hilarious. Like, why is he screaming like this? They decide to fight him without Eren turning into a Titan, because at this point, there hasn't really been an established way for it to happen. Mikasa gets another fake-out death, but they do that cool thing that she did to Annie when she got caught by her and she just slices up her fingers. Eren saves Jean and gets slapped into a wall where he finally turns into a Titan. This doesn't really make sense now that I think about it. Everyone else who's been slapped by the Armored Titan just explodes into blood and limbs, which would definitely kill a Titan who hasn't turned yet, but whatever, I suppose. And remember when I said this? This scene on its own is really insignificant, but it ties into a thought that came into my mind in a later scene. Well, now Eren for some reason can fight better, even though their fighting skills are based off of what the human form knows, which we saw in the manga with Eren doing Annie's move, and even in this movie, he uses the same move that he used on Jean. Just a weird change-up. I guess it could be explained since the Armored Titan would move much slower than the Attack Titan, whereas Shikishima moved faster than Eren, but it is what it is. The fight sequence was cool as hell though. I mentioned it in part 1, but it's just dudes in costumes like old Godzilla or Power Rangers, where they just had dudes in costumes run rampant in a miniature cities that they built. I've always appreciated that, even if it does seem a bit dated now. Now, I think it's time to mention that the special effects are much better. They no longer have to hide it behind dark scenes, especially in this scene where Eren in Titan form climbs the side of the wall and everyone is zipping up around him. It looks much better than anything done in the first part. Anyways, Eren plants the bomb, gets tired, drags the bomb back down. Mikasa has to go wake him up to plant the bomb again. During this, we get a scene showing that Hanj is still alive because apparently the tank was very durable. She finds some RPGs all excitedly and then heads out. We also see in this scene that there's someone else there who picks up a rifle. Ooh, who could it be? Ooh. Mikasa wakes up Eren, he plants the bomb, comes out of his Titan, and then guess who it was? It's Cabal. How in the world is he still alive? Well, he makes an offer to the group, they turn it down, he fucking kneecaps Armin with an assault rifle, he then gets shot in his throat with like 6 arrows by Sasha, and then he turns into the Colossal Titan. I guess that explains how he survived. As they try to stop him, Jean gets swatted, Eren gets mad, the bomb gets disarmed, and then Shikishima comes back as a good guy, turns into a Titan and blows up Cabal, himself, and the wall with the bomb. The day is saved. Eren and Mikasa look out over the ocean together because fuck Armin's dream to see the ocean too, I guess. And then the movie ends. Thank God I'm done with this. Oh wait, there was a post-credits scene, and it was aliens. Yeah, there isn't really any explanation on this, but by the voices and the way they talk, you can only assume that it's aliens. Aliens orchestrated everything. Okay, now that we are really done, as I said, Attack on Titan the movie part 2 was infinitely better than the first because you no longer have expectations as to where the story is going. I didn't feel like no longer watching the movie, I was actually engaged. I suppose they had a plan for making a third movie as we don't ever get to see Eren's brother and no real explanation on the alien thing. That's most likely because these movies didn't do too well and because the anime did so well. I guess we will never really find out a full explanation for where the story was going with these movies. If you enjoyed the video though, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. Next video will be on the live action Bleach movie, so stay tuned.